How many people work for you?
I think the agency right now have 40 people.
And do you recall during that time how many people have left or been asked to leave or departed?
Nobody has been asked to leave. Some people have transferred out and they have been replaced with new hires.
You've never, did you ever have a conversation with Chris Warner and ask him to leave?
I did.
You did or did not?
When 1 year after I started my chairmanship, I have a discussion with him to that effect.
So you just testified that you never asked anybody to leave, and I asked you about Chris Warner, and you did ask him to leave.
Yeah, and he said that he will not leave.
Why?
So I accepted it.
Then why did you just tell me that you've never asked anybody to leave?
Well, you know, I did have this conversation with Mr. Warner at the beginning. We had a lot of differences on the way that the agency should be run, and we were not able to see eye to eye on how he could be my general counsel, and I thought I asked him to resign, and he said that he wasn't going to resign, and that was the end of the matter.
Why did you just tell me that you never asked anybody to leave?
Probably I misspoke. Yes, we have that interchange with Mr.
How convenient. We see a lot of that. So what did you do with him? You changed his job, didn't you?
No.
You didn't change his job.
I tried to do my best to see if we were able to work together, and it.
Did you or did you not change his job?
Eventually, I did. When we
but then why did you just tell me you didn't change his job? I just asked you, did you change his job? And you said no. And then I asked you again, and you now say yes.
I transferred him from one position to another, yes.
What is that new position?
I told you before.
Was it a demotion?
It wasn't. It was a lateral transfer.
What was he doing? Was he working on FOIA requests?
Not only that, he was our ethics officer, which is a very important
So he went from general counsel to working on FOIA and ethics, and you think that's a lateral move?
And any other issues of senior legal interest that I could
So anything at your discretion, but he's no longer general counsel.
Yeah,
and you think that, how can you possibly justify that as a lateral move?
He didn't lose his title or his status.
Yes, he did lose
or his salary.
You're saying that he did not lose his title. He was still called the general counsel.
No. His title as SES.
Sir, every time I've asked you a question, you've changed your answer when I ask you a second time.
What I'm referring to is that his character of SES didn't change.
His what?
SES. He was a senior executive service of the government. He remained as a senior executive service.
But you did change his title. You did ask somebody to leave. You did do all of those things.
According with the U.S. Code, I have the right to transfer people in the senior executive service from one position
Mr. Elkins,
to another.
Mr. Sullivan, can you add or illuminate anything to this discussion that we've had over the last 3 minutes, 4 minutes?
Mr. Warner has made numerous complaints about his treatment, and we've spoken to Mr. Warner many, many times, and it's part of our ongoing investigation, and we're very hopeful we'll be able to get the documents that will shed a lot more light on this issue.
Why, again, are you holding back those documents? Mr. Chairman, why can they have the law on their side, the authority to see these documents? Why will you not share those documents with them?
I have shared thousands of documents.
No, I want all of them. It's a percentage.
The only ones that we are not sharing is the ones that deal with this attorney-client privilege that have been mentioned by my
Because you went and spent taxpayer money to get an outside counsel. You already had inside counsel. You didn't have to use that. This is something we'll bring you back up here again if we need to. The chairman's already said if he needs to issue subpoenas, we'll do that. It's just absolutely stunning to me because every single time we ask you a question, we get a different answer. Do you think you've done anything wrong?
I regret that I did some things the way I did. I don't think that I have done everything perfect.
What would you do differently?
Probably I will have tried to get my own team from the very beginning and make it clear that it was not possible to work with people that wanted, in my experience, to make more difficult the functions of the board and to work on to accomplish the mission of the board.
How many recommendations has the Inspector General given you?
Probably hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yes.
You have a department of 40 people, and under your tenure, they have given you hundreds of recommendations? How many have you implemented?
My counsel says that it's a few dozen, it's not hundreds. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
And you lead this organization?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's... How many of them have you actually implemented?
We have responded to each one of them, and we have told the Inspector General how we plan to, when we agree with their recommendation, how we plan to act on them and how.
Okay, so how many do you agree with, and how many do you disagree with?
I cannot give you a figure right now.
Well, that's obvious. That you couldn't even, Mr. Elkins.
It's all published.
Shed some light on the reality from your perspective.
Yes, sir, I'd be glad to. We've, during the administration of Dr. Maria Rasso, we've issued 19 recommendations. My records show that 11 are open, 4 remain unresolved, so what we have is 15 out of 19 with no corrective actions being taken. Not only that, but OMB have issued A50 guidance in terms of what happens when you cannot reach agreement. It goes to what's called audit resolution. There is no audit resolution process within the CSB. And so, therefore, when we get to a point of impasse with CSB, there's nowhere to go.
Why is there no audit resolution process, Chairman?
I don't know the answer to that question.
And you lead this organization?
Yes, I do.
Your inability to manage what is a relatively small group of people, to deal with the amount of money and time and expertise that the Inspector General comes in and offers, it should be viewed as a benefit. And yet you very cavalierly have no idea how many they've done. You have no plans to implement them. The majority of them you haven't implemented. There's no resolution in order to solve those problems. And if you're going to need Congress to come in and legislate how you're going to do this, you're not going to like the result.
I would like to say that we have responded to each and every one of the recommendations, and we have agreed with some and we have disagreed with others.
In your budget request, what did you do with the oversight function? Did you zero it out?
I have to review that. I cannot tell you from the top of my head what do I do with some item in my budget.